Is testing time really a way to potentially earn more than $60 per test you do, or is it a waste of time? My name is Michael and I've tested hundreds of different ways to make some extra money online, and many viewers have asked me about an updated testing time review, so therefore I decided to record this video where I'll show you both the pros and the cons of this platform, because it definitely has potential, but it also does have some limitations you need to consider to find out if this is the right opportunity for you or not, and that is exactly what this video will help you figure out. So let's start by going over how to join and who can join. And you can actually join from basically all countries, but as it is with all user testing sites, how many opportunities will just vary from country to country. That's just how it is. But when you just go to the TestingTime website, it's also important to be aware that right away you cannot necessarily see a way to join, because that main website is for people looking to recruit people to participate in user tests. If you want to earn by participating, you need to scroll down. They might change this. Sometimes it might be at the top, sometimes no, it might be somewhere else. But as you can see right now, there is something here called sign up as a tester. So you would need to click this to go to the section where it is you can apply to become a paid test user. And it is free to sign up, but there are a few requirements. As mentioned, you don't need any specific background. They also say this: no specific work experience, no specific education. They are mainly looking for two things. You need to be honest. They expect you to answer your questions truthfully and to share your opinion openly during testing. And also you need to be reliable, because often the test they do here is where you need to participate at a certain time. It can be an online interview. It can also sometimes be an in-person interview or focus group, some kind of test. And if it is at a specific time, they expect you to be reliable. So that is very important. If you are not able to attend anyways, you need to make sure to cancel and all that. If not, you will not get any more invitations. So these are basically the two important things, because if you're not honest, the research they do from this, user testing is in general companies that want, for example, to have website tested, products tested, apps tested, and they need honest feedback. And if you're not honest, it just shows, and the quality is not good. It's useless for them. They're wasting money, and of course they're not interested in then continuing paying you. So these are just the requirements to join. Other than that, there are no other requirements. So let's go over a little bit more about how you would then earn if you decide to join. So when you join, you will first tell a little bit more about yourself, because they need to make sure that you get access to the right tests, and then they will invite you, and you can, for example, go to the inside of the platform and see the available test. I'll show you that, but you will also in most cases get an email invitation. But sometimes it can be good to just check the platform once in a while to make sure that there's not any test that you have missed. It's quite important usually to apply as soon as possible, because there are usually limited spots. And then if you accept, they will see if you qualify and all that, and then if it's a match, then you will give the feedback. You will do the test. You can see it can be testing apps, websites, physical projects, gadgets, food, and many other things. So you can always read the exact description before you decide whether you want to join or not. You do not have to participate. You do not have to apply just because you get an invitation. That's important to understand. But this is the overall idea. How it practically works, as mentioned, is you will either get an email, or you can go to the inside, you can go to the studies, you can see the available studies. But right now, I do not have any available studies, and that's just how it is. In general user testing sites, there will be limited options. So that's why it's good to join several platforms, because then there's a bigger chance that you will get more regular invitations. But also it does depend on your profile. It does depend on your country. In some countries you will get more tests than in others. But we'll talk a little bit more about that when we talk about the full earning potential a little bit later. But let's first talk about how you can get paid when you participate, because that's always important to understand, so you know whether it even offers payout options that you are interested in. So when you're logged in, you can go and find your payment details, and this is where you can choose your payout option. The exact threshold you need to reach before you can take out your earning can vary from country to country, because in the FAQ section say if we have a payout threshold, you need to reach it to take out. So I'm assuming that based on that, it might mean that in some countries it doesn't have a payout threshold. If you're a member, please share below what is the threshold in your country, and does it have a threshold? Which country are you from? That would be great to hear, so we can kind of figure out ourselves what they actually mean when they say this. But I can say that where I live, I do need to earn 21 euro to be able to withdraw. Kind of a strange payout threshold, kind of a high one also. But the good thing about user testing platforms is that usually they also do pay quite well. We will talk about some examples of that a little bit later. So usually one test would be enough anyways to get it, in many cases anyways. But the payout options then are IBAN or PayPal. So IBAN is actually bank transfer. PayPal, you can also get paid in cash. So I like that they have two different ways to get paid. Just be aware, they explain that quite clearly. I do like that they're so clear about that. They say that if they wire money to a country outside Switzerland, there might be additional transfer charges. So that depends on your bank and your account type. So then if they transfer, let's say $50 or 50 euros, maybe your bank, maybe there's some kind of transfer fee there of, who knows, 5 euros, 10 euros. That all depends on your bank, right? So they say they cannot influence that, but they just make you aware of that. I think that's great. But they say if you use PayPal, then they cover all the transfer costs. So that's, that's something you can consider. PayPal then, don't always have the best exchange rates, and they have other fees, all these things. But that's just something to be aware of. But these are the payout options I really do like. They have both bank transfer and PayPal, so you can choose yourself. But let's now talk a little bit more about how much you can earn per test and how much you can overall earn. So when it comes to the earning potential, then of course it varies on many different things. They do no longer say an exact amount. They used to say that you could earn more than 50 euros or so per test, but I'm assuming they removed that because people expected they could earn that from every single test, and that is not the case. But I will also show you an example of sometimes that you can earn more than that. I've also seen examples of where you can earn more than $60 per test, but there's no guarantee how much you will earn, but you can always see before you participate. In my experience, the majority of tests that you're invited to are somewhere between 10 and 50 euros, but I have also seen higher. So I have also seen it, more than $60 per test. Of course, the more involved the tests are, the more you will get paid also. But as they also say, you will be able to earn some money, but it's not enough to make a living. And that is very important to be aware of with any user testing platform. And they also very clearly say that you will be invited on an irregular basis. So they cannot say how often you will get to participate. They actually, in fact, even say on the website here, you should not expect to get a lot of tests. But if you get invited, for example, to participate in person, that is where you can earn the most. You will earn a little bit less if it's an online interview or a video call. Again, if you participate in anything like this, remember to cancel. I once had an appointment here. I had to cancel because something else came up, and that's very important you remember to do that, because if not, you will not receive any further. You should not expect to receive any further invitations. So respect their time also if you have to cancel, but best to not cancel, because that just gives you the best opportunities in my experience. But as you can see, these are kind of what you can expect there. A little less if it's just online service. Of course, that's how it is. But to give you an example also, they do have a study example, because right now you can see inside, I couldn't show you anything that like I don't have any test available right now. I can only talk about the test that I have received in the past, but they also do have one on the website here where they show an invitation, an example here. This one, for example, this is 55 Swiss franc there, I believe it's called there, and this is more than $60 for something like this. And in general, they pay within 10 days after you request a payout. That's important to be aware of. But you also see for this particular one here, that was an in-house test there, in person there. But this is just one example. I have seen other examples like that also, where it's anywhere from 10, 20, 30, sometimes $50, $60 for a test. So overall, it does pay decently, but you should just not expect to get invitations very often. So to sum it all up, TestingTime is a legit user testing platform. If you want to test different products, participate in interviews, for example, for brands, as you can see on the website, some of the examples here, then it can be a fun way to earn a bit extra. And when you do qualify, it does pay quite well, and it does pay out in cash, but you just need to be aware you will not get that many invitations usually. That's why if you want to do user test, I always recommend joining quite a lot of different platforms, because then you will get more regular invitations, because each of them have different partners. So I do have a full list of my top recommended user testing platforms on my website. I'll leave a link to that below. Also, if you want to know more about TestingTime and in writing instead and read it there, then I do have a full written review on my website also. So I'll leave a link to that below so you can check those out depending on your preferences. But no matter what, I hope this video helped you. And if it did, make sure to hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.